What's happening? What's happening? Welcome. It is Thursday, so we're going to go get started in the middle of the day today. Yes, we are. Let me go ahead and get this on here. So, welcome to the broadcast. As you're coming in to join us, please let us know. Let me know where where you are. Excuse me, where are you joining us from, if you like. But what I actually want you to put into the comments is, have you self-published? And if you have not, if you are thinking about self-publishing, go ahead and put that into the comments for me as we go ahead and get started here today. Get all these things laid out the way I want them. I guess I need to open that up for y'all to see me over there. For y'all to see, I had the cover still on over here. On Facebook and Periscope and stuff. Or excuse me, on Instagram and Periscope and YouTube. I need to take the cover off. It's not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. But we're going to get started here very, very, very soon. Again, we're doing a day number 15. This is day number 15 of the 50 reasons to self-publish right now. We're going to get into today's content with numbers, reason number 29 and reason number 30 of the for the reasons to self-publish right now. So you go ahead and, if you're catching this on the replay, go ahead and share this out with somebody. And those who are still already here, go ahead and share the message out with someone who has thought about publishing a book, who talking about publishing a book, just don't know how, or looking for, just need a little extra push because they should write a book. And you just want to give them a little extra push. Give them one of these 50 reasons. Again, we're at day 15, so we're gonna have 15 days of content that you can be sending to them. What's up, B? What's up, B? You can be sending them out there, sending these people to this content. Hashtag 50 reasons to 50 reasons to self-publish. Hashtag 50 reasons to self-publish. They do that, they're gonna find out. They're gonna find all these videos and give them that little extra boost that they need. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's content. I want to get you in, get you out of here. I got a few stories, so I'm still going to try to keep it in around 12 minutes. I'm going to do my best. You know how it is when I start telling stories. Yes, sir. Doing my thing, doing my thing, doing my thing, brother. All right. So welcome to another episode. Today is day 15 of the 50 reasons to self-publish. Right now, we are talking about reasons number 29, reason number 13, which are to partner with companies and to separate the cheap clients. Yes, we got to separate the cheap clients, got to get them out the way, but still help them at the same time. I'm going to talk about how we're going to do that in just a second, because that's reason number 30. So let's start off with number 29, which is to partner with companies. So just imagine with me, just go along with me, because a couple weeks ago, I sat down in a training for a gentleman whose specialty is getting corporate sponsorships. And so basically you're getting paid to do what you do. And that would be nice to have, wouldn't it? So imagine this. Wouldn't it be worth your time to get to know the HR rep at a local company, or like the VP of marketing, if they were going to buy 100 or 1,000 copies of your book? Wouldn't it be a good idea to actually know these people and find out if your book fits into their company, right? What if they sponsored your book tour or cover the cost of hiring like freelancers and for your cover, your editing, for your proofing and for your formatting? What if they covered all those costs for you? Would it be worth your time to get to know these people? Now, that definitely be worth your time, right? So if you wrote a book on how you could close high ticket clients, and you presented it to a consulting company or another company and offered a workshop for their sales reps based on the principles in your book, would that be a good deal? They buy the books, you do the presentation. Now, let's follow that up. You crush it on stage and giving that presentation on these high ticket sales techniques, and they crush it. Now you turn around and say, is it possible for them to pay you to create a full-scale training for ongoing services based upon your book as an introduction? You do the workshop for them, or the small little weekend training or whatnot, and then you come back and do a full-scale sales training after that. all starting from a book. Wouldn't that be worth it? That's still partnering with companies because you present the book and then they bring you into the company to do everything else there. Now, that might seem like, I don't know if that doesn't seem like something I can do. I'm going to give you another example of how somebody you probably heard about before and how he got into partnering with other companies. And they may give you another idea towards the end here on how you can use it again yourself. So many of you already know that Rich Dad about Rich Dad Poor Dad, authored by Robert Kiyosaki. You know he wrote that book. But do you know that that book was originally written as a guide for his board game, Cash Flow 101. So now the board game was created to teach people how to get out of the rat race, right? So how to get out of living from paycheck to paycheck and start using your money to invest, teach principles of investing in stocks and companies and so forth, buying real estate so that you can get out of your job, build enough passive income so that you can leave your job. That's what the game was about, and he wrote the original book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, to teach the principles to help you be able to win that game. Okay, then it took off, right? The book took off, and when I mean like took off, like it was a #1 bestseller for years, like years, not just a couple months, a couple days, a week. It was a bestseller for years, and it's not written very high, profound thinking or words. It is the most simple see, spot, run type of words in sentences in that book. So you don't have to be all high level with the book that's going to sell. Again, it's best-selling book. Now, if you have a best-selling book, you're more likely to get into companies to partner with them because they're going to say, well, he's a best-selling author. He obviously knows what he's talking about. So what happened with that? That book also opened the doors for Robert Kiyosaki to partner with companies all across the world. All across the world. So here's what I'm asking you. What principles do you teach that you could save a company some money, you can make them more revenues, or improve their leadership? Because one of the biggest the keys to having a sustainable business is having great leadership, which is part of the reason why you see leadership books all over the place. Because the first thing happens when a new CEO comes in is they fire all the leadership and they start over. It's not the employee's fault. It's the leadership that doesn't get the right employees or get them in line, create the culture. So if you have if you're great at leadership, now is opportunity for you to have that book published, presented to companies, and start teaching their leadership how to become better leaders. See? You're partnering with a company that's going to help you build your business and make you more money, get you more recognition, because now you can turn around and say, I've worked with so-and-so company and helped them turn their leadership around, right? Or I helped them increase their revenues by such and such numbers. Or I helped them cut their expenses and costs by such and such number. We had a gentleman on here last night who talked about him having a trucking company and how he could write a book to help him expand his trucking company if it's possible. And that would be excellent way of cutting costs for a company. If you have, for him to take the trucking company to write a simple book on the logistics of finding the right trucking company, getting the right, paying the right prices for your expenses and logistics and so forth that go along with a trucking company, or the benefits of using a smaller company versus a larger company for doing those, your transporting of your goods and services. That book saves the company money. That getting it out makes you become the person they want to deal with, or they come in and consult on which companies to use. See, it's definitely a way to use that book for you to get in the door to have the conversation so you can close. You get the moneymaker in the door, right? Okay, so these are the deals that help you partner with companies, but you need to put them in a book and make them an offer that they cannot refuse, right? That's reason number 29. So reason number 30 is it naturally separates cheap clients. And I got to talk a little bit here because I've been there. I've been the cheap client and I've also had the cheap client. So I know both sides of this equation and it's helped me on both sides. When I've been the cheap client, I was glad that I had a book that I could go back to and still get the principles, still get the training, still get the understanding, at least the first 3, 4, 5 steps so that I can make some money, then come back and reinvest in my company at the next level at a training or at a seminar or some coaching. That's what we're talking about here. So have you ever had someone angry about your prices? Have you ever had someone angry about your prices? Now, regardless of your exact price, once you go over like the budget of like a good date night, you're gonna have people that are gonna like balking at your prices, right? So the conversation may be something like, yes, it's $100 for a half-hour consult. It's like, it's what? It's $100. Or else I have a book that teaches you my process. Now, you won't have me to work with directly, but I'll be with you in spirit. And you send them to your Amazon link. That's another way to work with people, right? Now, I know that you want to help people. I mean, that's what you do. You just can't help everyone. I mean, you know that. Once you get to a certain point, you know you cannot help everyone, and you have to set your prices accordingly. And I don't want you to start discrediting your products or your services by discounting them for whatever reason. Offer them a book. It naturally separates the cheap clients from the ones who are willing to do what it takes to get the money for your expertise. Okay? Now, if you structure your book in a way that the readers will have enough information to get started doing what you offer as a service, then it's logical that they're going to return to you when they can afford it or when they find a way to afford your services. When you create supplemental videos and blogs or podcasts, there's no doubt, there's no doubt that you're going to receive referrals because of what you're doing, right? And then they're going to come back to you later on. Now, don't think that you ever give away, because I know people are saying like, if I give all this information away, why would they come to me? Why would they pay for my services? Don't think you're ever going to give away too much information. Okay, most people are not going to consume what you have or not going to understand what it is, and even the people who are gobbling up everything that you put out there, those are the people who are going to be your loyal clients, and they're going to bring you more people because they're consuming everything you put out. So when you put something out, they're going to consume that again, and they're going to tell other people about how great you are and what you offer. So don't ever feel like you're putting too much information out there. The world is flooded with information. Your piece of information going out there is not going to hurt anybody. You might as well put it out there and continue to create your content empire. Okay. Now, you can, as a side note, you can overtrain in a webinar or in a selling from the stage. Ask me how I know. You can overtrain at that point. So that's a different type of conversation. We're not getting into that right now, but understand you can overtrain at those moments. But as far as just giving content on your platform, no. Okay? When you publish a book, you're allowed to show off when it helps your readers succeed. So show off what you can do in your book. That's what I'm telling you.